there's a hum, a low frequency of doubt that lives in the back of your mind when you have to make a choice. It's the static between two radio stations, your gut and your brain. Each one is playing a different song of fear and hope, and you're stuck in the middle, unable to hear the melody. But what if you could just turn a dial and find a clear signal? We're told that more choice means more freedom, but often it feels less like freedom and more like a cage, a long hallway with 1,000 doors, where the fear of choosing the wrong one keeps you from opening any of them. This is the paradox of choice, where more options lead to more anxiety. Our mind enters a state of over-analysis, weighing pros and cons until the words lose their meaning. The fear of making a mistake becomes paralyzing, and so we often choose the safest, most painful option: to not choose at all, to stay put, because the fear of a wrong step feels worse than the quiet pain of standing still. The problem is, our thinking gets trapped in the immediate. We're tangled in the what-ifs of tomorrow and the fears of today. But the clarity we desperately need lies in the longer view. The tool to find it isn't a formula, it's a conversation, a quiet meeting you call with your future selves, asking them one powerful question: how will this choice feel? First, you consult your 10-minute self. This is the voice of instinct, your immediate visceral reaction. Its answer is raw, unfiltered by reason. It might be fear, relief, or a jolt of excitement. This is the voice of your nervous system. It's a signal, not a verdict. Listening to it tells you what you're afraid of, but it doesn't see the whole map. Next, you speak with your 10-month self. This is the voice of strategy. This self has lived with the consequences. The dust has settled. This is the paradox of choice, a modern affliction where more options lead to more anxiety and less satisfaction. Our mind enters a state of over-analysis. We create mental spreadsheets of potential futures, weighing pros and cons until the words lose their meaning. The problem is, our thinking gets trapped in the immediate. We are tangled in the what-ifs of tomorrow and the fears of today. But the clarity we desperately need doesn't live in the turbulent present. It lives in the longer view. So how do we access that perspective? How do we quiet the noise and hear the signal? The tool isn't a complex formula, it's a conversation. A quiet meeting you call with 3 distinct versions of your future self. You ask them, one by one, a single, powerful question. How will this choice feel? First, you consult your 10-minute self. This is the voice of instinct, your immediate, visceral reaction. This self lives in the world of adrenaline, gut feelings, and raw emotion. Its answer is unfiltered by reason. It might be the sharp sting of fear or the sudden, deep exhale of relief. This is the voice of your nervous system. It's a primal signal, not a final verdict. Listening to it is crucial, as it tells you what you're immediately afraid of, but it doesn't see the whole map. Next, you speak with your 10-month self. This is the voice of strategy. This self has lived with the consequences for almost a year. The initial dust has settled. They have navigated the new reality your choice created. They understand the journey, the effort, the learning curve. This self will tell you about the unexpected struggles, but also about the strength you gained and the skills you learned from them. Its perspective is grounded, practical, and focused on the process of adaptation. Finally, you turn to the most important voice. You ask your 10-year self. This is the voice of wisdom. The anxieties and struggles of today are distant, faded memories to this self. It has the profound clarity that only the passage of time can provide. This self doesn't care about the temporary struggle or the fleeting comfort. Its focus is on your essence. The key question for your 10-year self is this: did this choice make me more of who I was meant to be? Its answer comes not from fear or convenience, but from a place of deep, quiet truth. It's the voice of your higher self. This way of thinking isn't a new life hack. It's an echo of ancient practice. The Stoics knew that a life of meaning, what they called eudaimonia, was built upon a foundation of wise choices. They understood that our peace of mind is destroyed by lamenting the past or fearing the future. Their goal was to act with virtue in the only moment we truly own, the present. Their goal was to act with virtue in the only moment we truly own, the present. This practice is, at its core, an act of loyalty to the person you are working to become. If this framework for clarity resonates with you, we invite you to subscribe to Wisdom for Life and join our community of thinkers on this journey. Now let's make this real. Imagine you're contemplating a significant career change. The idea is terrifying. Your current job is stable, familiar, but it feels like a slow drain on your spirit. You ask your 10-minute self, if I leave this job today, how will I feel in 10 minutes? Panic, a jolt of pure adrenaline. Your heart pounds as you imagine the conversation, the uncertainty. You feel the terror of losing your security, your identity. But wait, underneath the terror, what else is there? A flicker of excitement? The feeling of a cage door swinging open for the very first time. Then you turn to your 10-month self. It's been 10 months. How does it feel now? The initial panic is a distant memory. The reality of the journey has set in. Maybe I'm still finding my way. This self might say, my bank account is lower than I'd like. I've faced rejection. But it adds, do you remember those Sunday nights? The dread? That weight is gone. I'm learning new skills. I'm meeting new people. Even though it's hard, for the first time in years, I am finally moving forward. Finally, you have the most important conversation. You ask your 10-year self, it's been a decade? Look back and tell me, what was the true cost of staying in that old job? What was the price I paid in spirit, in energy, in unfulfilled potential for that decade of safety? And what new world, what new version of me became possible on the day I finally chose myself over my fear? This tool is versatile. Consider a difficult conversation you've been avoiding with a loved one. In 10 minutes, fear of conflict, discomfort, a racing heart. In 10 months, the relationship has either healed and is now stronger and more honest, or you have gracefully moved on from a dynamic that was holding you back, honoring your own boundaries. In 10 years, you barely remember the discomfort of that one moment. It's a single moment, long since past. What you do remember, what you feel every day, is the lasting peace and integrity that came from honoring your own truth. You learn that discomfort is often temporary, but authenticity is eternal. The goal of this exercise is not to find the perfect decision. The pursuit of perfection is a trap that paralyzes us. The goal is to find the aligned decision. An aligned choice is one that makes the person you are today and the person you will become feel like they are on the same team. It may be the harder path. It may be the one with more initial resistance, but it is the path that leads you back to yourself. However, there is a common trap on this path. It's the temptation to listen only to the grand vision of the 10-year self, while ignoring the very real struggle of the 10-month self. This practice requires integrated wisdom, not blind idealism. You must honor the present fear, but not let it control you. You must plan for the midterm challenges, but not let them extinguish your long-term vision. This is the art of building a life, not just making a single decision, a life that feels authentic, meaningful, and deeply full. The result of making these aligned decisions is an inner stillness, a quiet confidence that comes not from an absence of challenges, but from knowing you are on your true path. It is a happiness that arises from the congruence between who you are today and who you are becoming. So I invite you to try this conversation the next time you face a difficult choice. Ask your 10-minute self how it feels, and honor that feeling. Ask your 10-month self what it learned, and prepare for that journey. And ask your 10-year self if this choice made you more you. I would love to know. What decision are you contemplating? And what does your 10-year self have to say about it? Share your experience in the comments.